You mentioned that because I'm very curious what your day-to-day now looks like now that there's a child that you must attend to.
Well, I think me and my wife my wife is amazing in the sense that, like, when we got into this union, this partnership, I kind of told her, I was like, yo, I got a world to conquer, I got places to be, I got things to destroy, you know, that's like in my blood, I'm a conqueror. So I really hope you don't expect me to be like a stay-at-home dad and just be daddying it up with you. Like, I'm gonna help you obviously because of my baby, whatever baby needs. My mom is here, I flew my mom in because my mom to help Carol with the baby because I'm not gonna take that much time off of work to help. I got shit to conquer. So we had this like agreement from the very beginning. We're like, hey, I'm gonna give you everything you need. You will never be hungry, you will always be clothed. Whatever the baby needs, baby gets. You need anything, get it. Doesn't affect me whatsoever, but my time is very valuable. So if you need help, my mom can come help. You need this, whatever you need, we'll give you all the resources to do it. I'm gonna I'm gonna conquer the world. So the first 2 weeks, obviously I wanted to just get to know my baby.
Right.
So I helped out a lot. No one was here, it was just me and her. Adjusting, getting used to parenthood. After about 2 weeks, I was like, all right, it's time for me to get back on my heroic mission. Mom will come over, she'll help out, and then literally I'll wake up, I'll go to my office, I'll just grind it out just like before. So not much has changed. Obviously, baby is always first priority. So if baby needs something, baby's gonna get it. But as far as me doing my grind, it's still grind time,
now,
baby.
has the dynamic between yourself and your wife had changed to where, like, prior, even in the midst of her pregnancy, when she needed you physically to be there, somebody to lean on or something of that nature, are you still available for stuff like that?
No, because like I said, my wife is amazing because she gets it, bro. She understands, like, hey, there's certain things that he needs to do. Now, if I'm sitting and I'm fucking like watching, like I want to watch a UFC fight, she'll be like, why the fuck are you watching UFC fight? Help me.
Right.
But if I'm working and she knows I'm working, she just will be like, all right, I'm going to figure this out on my own. Like, I'm not going to contact you unless I really, really need you and it's an emergency. But the same applies with the baby. She's really good at just mothering it up, you know? So she's doing all of that. I handle my thing. She handles her thing. It's a beautiful union. It's a beautiful team.
That works.
I think that's important. If you're going to find a partner, especially if you're an entrepreneur trying to make money, they got to understand your mission. So my wife is on board with the mission. She's on board with being great. And yeah, it lets me have my freedom to work and do stuff.
That's perfect. That, you know, you guys are aligned.
As long as I'm not like fucking around and like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with the boys. She doesn't like that. But if I'm in my office just grinding it out, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, she's cool.
Yeah, I think that's important because too many times people go and they reproduce, have all these goddamn kids with people who they don't. You know, either they don't have an understanding between the two of them. There's really no purpose that they're on in the midst of it, and then now you're operating in chaos. Because if they know you're not taking, let's say if you're an entrepreneur, you're not taking your job seriously, and you're kind of bullshitting throughout the entire day, and now there's a newborn that's here, of course she's going to demand for you to be much more present with what's going on because she kind of knows that you're bullshitting in your time period. So you can say, oh, I'm going to get serious, but if you have no actual track record of being serious, why would she take you serious? But that's kudos to you to still be able to attack and take advantage of what you have to take advantage of.
I think we talked about it on a podcast before, but you have to set the expectation of what it's going to be when you get into a relationship or when you form a union with someone, right? Like, what are we going to be doing, like, during this thing? And I think that's what makes it work because she, like, genuinely, like, understands. And if she understands that I'm a psychopath like that, and that's why it works, that's why it works. I think it's also really good too, like with kids, my personal opinion, I think absence makes the heart grow fonder. I think especially with a kid, if like the videos I see on my TikTok algorithm now, it's like so funny because it's like little girls when they see their dad come home after a long day of work, they're like, oh my God, Dad. And they love like their dad like that because they don't see him that much. So I think absence makes the heart grow fonder in that sense. If there's a dad that's just like a stay-at-home dad and he's like super available all the time, the kid's gonna be like, oh, I love my dad, but it's not the same as like, hey, my dad's gone, and then I see him like an hour or two a day, and you're like, oh my God, they cherish every moment with you.
It also pays to have a big ass penthouse to where you're in the eastern wing, and your wife and daughter is on the western wing, so they don't see you for a couple of hours, like, although you're still within centralized in the same house, but that's not too bad.
So it's cool, man, it's cool.